So I'm just setting out at the beginning now of my next adventure. I've had itchy toes for weeks now, and I've really wanted to do something like a winter wonderland type adventure. And I was hoping to go to the mountains in Wales, but the weather just didn't work out, and it wasn't going to be worthwhile. It was kind of gale force winds and rain and huge wind chill factor. It wouldn't have been doable. So I booked myself a last minute flight to Norway, of all places, super cheap. And I was looking online, and there's a little place north of Oslo called Nordmarka. I say a little place, it's a huge forest with loads of like trails and tracks and paths through it. So I'm just going to spend the next 5 days exploring around here, picking out a route. I've got my wild camping gear, so I'm going to do some lovely winter wild camps and just kind of see what it brings, really. I don't know what it's going to be like at all, other than kind of cold and snowy, and hopefully, just like I say, this winter wonderland vibe. Lovely. When I was checking out the weather forecast before coming here, got a massive smile on my face. It's crazy cold here at times. I think the beginning of the week that I'm here, it's about -1, -2 in the days, and then about -5, -6 at night. And then towards the end of the week, it drops down really cold. It's getting to about -9, -10 in the days, and then plummeting to about -18 at night. So that's going to be a real test. That's going to be a real test camping out in those kind of conditions. The route that I'm attempting to do is called the Nordmarka High 5. It's quite a big route. It's about 100 kilometres, what's that, about 60 miles, and it takes in 5 of the biggest hills around here. I'm starting off on that route anyway. I'm just going to play it by ear, really. I'm not even sure if it's possible. I'm not sure how far I can walk each day in these conditions, and of course it gets dark really early and light really late. I think I've come in the end of January, and it gets light at about 8:30 in the morning, and it's dropping dark now, as you can see, and it's not very late. So I think the sun sets at 4:30 this time of year. So that's where we're heading to next. 2 kilometres. This place is just absolutely magical so far. It's absolutely everything I could have wished for. I do think I made a little blunder though. I went to, before I came up here, I went to look in a sports shop at getting some snowshoes. And I was dead set on getting some before I got here. But then on the bus ride from the airport into Oslo, there was hardly any snow everywhere. There was a bit, but not tons. So I just thought, oh God, it'd probably be pointless. And they're massive as well. So I've come up here without any. And it's absolutely a winter wonderland. It would be ace to have some snowshoes here. I think I'll be all right otherwise. We'll have to have a look. Some snowshoes and a little sledge to carry this bag would have been ace though. It's probably be about 5 o'clock at night. And as you can see though, it's dropped really dark. So I'm going to try and find a little place for my first ever night wild camping in the Norwegian forest. I can't tell you how excited I am about this. God, this snow's so deep. Looks to be a nice little flat spot up here through these trees. Whew. Oh, brilliant. To start flattening off some snow first, I think. Make a nice flat bed if I can. It should be comfy anyway. Got a couple of these pegs here, I don't know if you can see. These are like snow pegs, so they're much thicker. So this is a bit trickier than it first seemed, but I think that these snow pegs here might be the key. Right, I think I've worked out if I can hook all these guy lines together with this snow peg that I've got, and that should give me some kind of something to work with. Yeah, that's in. Alright. Oh, this is a learning curve. And there we go. Same at the other end. Alright. Let's try and give it some shape. There we go. Some homemade pegs. So that's the job. Well, I think that tent's just about up, but I'm so glad there's no wind. Big learning curve, this. Well, today has been an absolutely amazing first day. It's always a big day, your first day on any of these kind of trips, because you've got to travel and get there, and then you're trying to hike away in a little bit to the thing. So it's just a massive day. I've been up since 3, so I'm pretty knackered now. But yeah, what a beautiful and amazing place. Absolutely exceeded my expectations. And it's kind of weird, even though I'm sat here in like literally 2 foot of snow, I don't feel chilly at all. I'm not even wearing gloves. If I was in the UK now, it's a different type of cold, I think. I'd be absolutely freezing, but I feel all right. It's about -5, it's dropped down. I'm looking forward to having a nice cup of tea. And then snuggling down, getting my Kindle out and getting a bit of an early night. It's not even that late, I don't think, about 7 o'clock, but it's pitch black, so yeah. I've wanted to do this for so long. Just get some snow in a pot, tap it down. Oh well, I hope this works. And I've got some winter gas. Look at that. Mega perfect. What an amazing start to a winter adventure. So I'm just getting up now from my first wild camp in a Norwegian forest in the snow. And it was really comfortable actually. It was a lovely experience, so peaceful. And there's no wind or anything like that, so you could hardly hear anything except for the snow pattering on your tent. And it was I think it got down to about -7, so it was pretty chilly, but it was quite snug in here. And I just had to fill up my hot water bottle once in the night. But yeah, I was pretty chuffed with how that went. It's magical waking up here. It's such a beautiful place to wake up. Just got packed up and setting off on day 2, or my first proper day really. It's so magical here. I was looking it up, and the Norwegians have a saying called troskmood, which is kind of a way of describing the magic and enchantment you feel just being out in nature like this, especially at dawn and sunset. I'll try and give you a bit of the vibe of what that's like. So the plan for today, loosely, is to keep trying to follow this Nordmarka high 5 route, and it gets some elevation in a bit, so there'll be a few hills to take on, which hopefully give me some better views of the local area. The snow's still coming down, it's lovely. It's a massive area for cross-country skiing around here. So although you're kind of in the wilderness and out in nature, it doesn't feel too risky yet, which is probably a good thing for me. First time doing this sort of thing. There are kind of people about skiing quite a lot of the time, and you come across these huts which are, you can get food and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a nice mix. So I'm going to be heading for Insenhogen, which is the next stop. It is quite cool that they've got these signs posted on all the trees, so you don't have to check your map constantly. This is so ace. Whoa! When you kind of first come into here from getting off the train in Oslo, it's a bit busy really. Well, not that busy, but there's people skiing around, and I thought it might be like this. The kind of further you get into it, the more like a winter wilderness it feels. And there's two types of tracks. There's the blue tracks, which is for walking, and then the red are meant to be mainly for skiing, I think. And if you're on the blue, as you can see, it's just absolutely stunning. It's amazing. And it's kind of silent as well. You can't hear anything. Really, really peaceful, magical place. Once you're off the cross-country ski trails and out onto the hiking trails, it's just such a different vibe. Just walking through these forests, I've not seen anybody all morning. It's snowing, it's peaceful. It's such a nice atmosphere. Well, I keep saying that it's magical, but it really is. I'm so glad I came out here. It's just epic. So this forest is absolutely immense. I've been hiking for the best part of 2 days through it now. Okay, it's quite deep snow and I'm not going all that fast, but I've not even scratched the start of it. And everywhere you look, it's just more and more trees. I don't think there's anything like it in the UK. It's on a totally different level. I'm loving it. So I've just come across this cosy little cabin in the woods, in the forest. It's a ski cabin, I think. They sold me a delicious Norwegian bun and a large coffee. Champion. So that was a nice little break in the chalet. I'm just heading out now and just heading up into the hills. It should be quite interesting, really. The snow's coming down quite heavy as it's kind of pitted and pattered all day long, but it's quite nice, yeah. So trying to head up into some hills. I think it climbs up to about 600 metres where I'm going. So I've got about an hour of daylight left, and then look for somewhere to camp up. Should be mega. So that's where I'm trying to head to there, the Kitteltoppen. And that's probably be me for the day. I think what's that, 1.5 kilometres. Yeah, in this heavy snow, that'll take ages. So walking in deep snow on the flat, as I found out today, is hard. Walking up a hill in this deep snow. Oh my word, what a challenge. Such good fun though. Yeah, takes your breath away. This is next level coming up here. It's exactly the sort of challenge that I was hoping for and looking forward to. It's so steep and so deep getting up that you're kind of having to kick steps out of all of the snow, and it's pushing me right out of my comfort zone, but I'm loving it. It's good to do that, I think. The views up here are stunning. As I've come through into this forest, which is going up a big hillside, the atmosphere's totally changed. There's no skiers about or anything like that. It feels a lot more remote, and there's a lot more evidence of wildlife about. I think in the other forests there wasn't really any tracks or anything. I think I saw the tracks of a hare, and that was about it. But coming up here through this woodland, it's just covered in little hoof marks of deer and probably other animals, I don't know what, around here. I know they have deer and elk. Elk are massive. I'm not sure if I want to come across a moose. I'd like to see one from far away though. There are other animals I've seen. Where are we? Norway. Bears and wolves. I think a friend was winding me up, saying I'll probably see some skinwalkers. As you might be able to see, there's footprints absolutely everywhere. If I wasn't being so noisy, clumsy, clambering around, there'd probably be a lot more wildlife around here. It's impossible to move quietly though, like, in these conditions. So this second day in Norway has just been such an experience. I've been trekking through this forest in deep snow. It's not been easy going, but yeah, it's a real learning curve. And I've just, after finding that nice cafe out in the middle of the forest, I've just trekked up the side of this mountainside, and I just found this most tranquil, wonderful spot to pitch my tent. It's unbelievable. You feel such at one with nature here. I'm just kind of out here. There's nobody about. The chances of me seeing somebody here are zero, and you just feel like you can totally relax and kind of be at peace and experience what it's like to be in nature like this. I'm just enjoying my early morning cup of coffee after what can only be described as one of the most amazing wild camps in my life, really. The energy in this place is outstanding. It feels like, I don't think I've ever experienced anything quite like it before. If you're into wild camping and that sort of thing, you know, I might sound a bit crazy here, but different kind of areas that you go to kind of have different energies about them. And as I was walking through here last night, it was just outstanding. It just, the vibe of the place just totally changed, and I knew I had to do a camp up here. It's just been so peaceful, so tranquil. It's like everything's kind of in harmony together. It was just really, really wonderful. It was silent all night, except you could just hear the creaking of the snow on the branches. So the plan this morning is to head up to the summit of a small mountain here called Kikut, and I'm hoping there'll be some nice views from the top. I've had to really readapt my plans because before I came out I wasn't sure how many miles or how many kilometres I'll be able to do each day, and in the first 2 days I've done about 12 kilometres total. So obviously the going's quite tough and quite slow. So once I get to this summit of Kikut, it follows a ridge line, and then I'll have to look at winding a route, find my way back to Oslo. I've got 3 days left, so plenty of time for exploring. Oh wow, so steep getting up here. They've put this kind of rope in place that you can kind of haul yourself up on. Oh wow. Look at that. You can see here that some kind of animals come through here, maybe even this morning. You can see that it's a hoof print. Must be a deer. Doesn't look big enough to be a moose. But yeah, it's snuck off over there. These, on the other hand, as you can see going up here, are massive footprints. And at first I thought that, you know, somebody else had been up here fairly recently. But then if you look into them, it's a hoof. So this creature has got massive feet. So this, I guess, may well be an elk or a moose that's walked up here. I'd love to see one, but from quite far away. I believe they're massive. You can see here with all the kicked up snow and the vegetation's all been exposed. So there's definitely been something here munching away. As I'm following this track up to the summit today, there's just all this evidence of animal activity. You can see all the snow's kicked up, and they've dug everything up to eat what they can. I really hope I see something. I'm noisy as anything though, so. But it's just wonderful. There's nothing else up here. It would seem there's no human footprints. It's just me and whatever animals these are, whether they're deer or elk, I'm not sure. So I've just got to the summit of Kitkut, and it might not be the highest mountain in the world, but it still feels an achievement. It's always good to get to the top, and the views up here are stunning really. You can just see how massive this forest is. It just goes as far as the eye can see in every direction. It's brilliant. I'm not sure if this camera will really capture it. I'm just trying to give a sense of the vastness of this forest. As far as I can see, in any direction, just more and more. As I'm walking through this lovely forest and spending more time here, you just get totally absorbed by the different details. It's like all the little microscopic worlds that are working together, and all the details of the lichen and the different fungus and all the moss and everything like that. It's just a beautiful environment. It's not just the big kind of scenery that you get, but it's the tiny little things that you notice as well when you're here. When I was planning my route, I'd not really appreciated how heavy going this is on the legs and how much less you do. It's probably about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon now, 2 o'clock I think, and I've probably done about 3 kilometres today, and it's knackering. It's lovely, I love walking through this snow, but it's tiring, and I've got a long way to go, and I've got to get back to Oslo in 2 days. So yeah, I'm going to have to try and crack on somehow. But you can't go any faster. I think I might have to do a bit of night hiking tonight, which might be quite nice. Today has to rank as one of the most beautiful and awe-inspiring hikes that I think I've ever done. But God, also one of the toughest. I've been slogging it out all day long, absolutely knackered. And I've just checked on my map and I've only done 4k all day long. And I've been going from 9 o'clock, and as you can see now, it's absolutely pitch dark. So I've kind of got myself in a bit of a pickle as normal, and so I'm going to have to crack on with a bit of a night hike, which I don't mind, to try and catch up. This is me now. I've come to the end of this absolutely epic day, and all that's left is just to throw my tent up and go and collapse. It's been an absolute monster of a day. It's been so good, but geez, I'm so tired. Before I came out here, it was a bit of a last minute thing, and I didn't have that much time to do that much research. And I didn't realise although it's such a beautiful landscape, it's such a hard landscape to walk around in. My legs are absolutely jiggered from yesterday. It's so sore. It was a massive, massive day just to try and get back on track. And this morning, I've realised my gas is running a bit low, food supplies are running a bit low. And I thought when I looked at the map, it said, oh, it's 10k to the nearest kind of one of these huts where you can get some food and whatever. But But I don't think I did 10k all of yesterday, and the going's really tough again today. So this is a real physical challenge coming out here. It's beautiful. I wouldn't be anywhere else in the world right now. But man, God, I feel myself getting fitter step by step. I've managed to come across this other road, which given the fragile state of my legs and the massive distance that I have to go, it's an absolute godsend. I think this area of Norway, just Nordmarka, is perfect really if you're just starting doing these sorts of things, because there's plenty of wilderness. There's, you know, like I said, I've not seen anybody yet today. I didn't see anybody all of yesterday, but there's enough kind of roads, well, if you call this a road, or like ski tracks and huts, that, you know, if you do get yourself into a bit of mischief, you're not a million miles from anywhere, so it's a good testing ground. I'm glad I didn't go anywhere absolutely remote, because I could have found myself in a bit of trouble. I'm just making my way now to what looks like a nice little restaurant on the map, tucked in the forest. Another thing I slightly underestimated is how ravenous this makes you. I'm 4 days in, and I can already feel that I normally lose a bit of weight doing these things. All my clothes, my trousers are a bit baggy, and I'm just absolutely starving. I've nearly eaten all my food. God, so hopefully, I hope it's open when I get there, and I hope it's not fine a la carte dining or something like that. I want something massive. Wow, I can't tell you how happy I am to finally see this place. Hello, you're beautiful. Hello, sir. Oh, you're gorgeous. Wow, is that a husky? Oh my goodness, that was absolutely perfect. That was amazing. It was just this cutest little wooden cabin serving delicious food. There wasn't much mains on offer, so I had a moose burger, which was delicious. I would never normally eat that sort of thing, obviously, but when in Norway. And then they do these delicious waffles covered in sour cream, strawberry jam, raspberry jam. Oh man, that was just what I needed. I feel fully refreshed and ready to spend a night in my tent in -15, -16 last night. This evening there's a lovely light playing over everything. The weather for this 4 days I've been here so far has been mega, but it's been cloudy all the time and snowing all the time. So this is the first time I've actually seen the sky. And it's a funny kind of colouring around here. The sky's got this kind of pinky orangey tinge to it. It's quite weird to explain really. I hope I've picked it up some of it on some of this video. So I found a cracking little spot for my last night of wild camping. I feel a bit, it feels really special actually. I feel a bit sad that it's going to be my last night, so I'm getting down early. You can already feel it getting really cold. So I found this beautiful little spot in these forests. So quiet, nobody about obviously. And yeah, I'm going to get the tent up, get set up. Might even try and make a fire. See if I can keep warm that way. It's my last night here and I just thought I'd try and get a bit of a campfire going. But it's too cold and it was beyond my skill level, unfortunately. Just waking up now from my last night's wild camp and these beautiful forests. I'm really gonna miss camping out in here. It's been amazing, such a privilege. It was super cold last night and this morning it's about -12. And all night I started hearing this cracking noise in the forest and I thought there might be like animals or something around. But I realised it's just got that cold that it's cracking the wood everywhere. And everything's frozen in my tent. My boots are frozen solid. My socks frozen solid. I think I've reached the limit of what's comfortable really here. But yeah, what an amazing experience it's been. I feel so lucky to have been able to do this. Oh, I've had to get packed up real quick this morning. Let me tell you, there's a marked difference between -5, -6 and then -12. It's so cold this morning. You can see that the sky's clear, so hopefully there's going to be a nice sunny day. But nothing wants to work when it's this cold. And my breath's just, you might be able to see, it's just kind of freezing straight as it hits my clothing. Everything's kind of frozen and jammed up. Wow, it's a whole different level. Coming towards the end of my journey now, and God, what can I say? This was kind of booked last minute, really ad hoc, and due to frustrations about the UK weather and not being able to do anything wintry over in the UK. So I had no idea really what to expect. But wow, this place has absolutely blown my mind. I'll be honest, when I first stepped off that train at the edge of this forest, I was super nervous. I thought, golly, you've bitten off more than you can chew with this one. And all my friends were sending me kind of pictures of people frozen in the snow and wolves and bears and elk and all that sort of stuff. But blimey, what a place this is. You know, just spending 5 days exploring this area. I mean, I've said it loads of times, I imagine, that it just feels really mystical, really magical exploring this. It's like I've stepped into Narnia or something like that. And it's just this kind of dreamy, sleepy, snowy, wonderful landscape. It's just been an absolute pleasure to explore it. I highly recommend anyone, you know, if you fancy some kind of winter adventure, this place is ideal. I think preparation and gear wise, I've done reasonably well, considering I've never done anything like this before. All my camping stuff has held up really well. I think it was -12 last night, and I think that's probably the comfortable limit of what my gear could do. If I was to make any changes, I think a pair of snowshoes, that would have been a big boon. And probably a tent that stands on its own, you know, a freestanding type tent, and a little bit bigger, because you just end up spending quite a lot of time in it. But apart from that, I think I've done all right. Although this is a very beautiful, mystical and magical landscape, you also kind of realise how unforgiving it is. It's these 5 days have been epic, but they've taken their toll. I can feel I'm kind of proper knackered. It's going to take a few days recovering. I'm not sure how much snowshoes would have helped and how much easier that is. I'm not sure if they'd help at all in the mountains actually with the way they're designed, but I just don't know. But yeah, it's heavy going. I don't think it's one of the physically hardest journeys and adventures that I've done, that's for sure. My legs are absolutely in bits.
As I slowly made my way back to Oslo, it was the perfect chance to reflect on what had been an amazing adventure in this beautiful part of the world.